This is a little walk from Exhibition shopping centre in the centre over to Strandgaten. This morning it was quite cold outside. You'll see in the bottom corner, looks like I'm waving a, so I'm waving a glove around, but I'm actually holding a coffee. But it will disappear in a minute once I get outside. I don't know what I was doing there or what I was thinking. But this is Exhibition. It's a nice shopping centre. There's a few things in there, there's a few places and electrical shops and little places like that. And there's a normal which sells everything really cheap. And a big bite which is kind of like Subway, but it's a nice little shopping centre. At the top of it there's a wine bar and stuff, so it's quite cool. As we come up the walking escalator, does anyone else get irritated by these escalators? You're supposed to walk on them. It's a walking platform where people just stand on them and wait for it to move. You're supposed to walk. It drives me mad. Anyway, we come outside now into the street. You'll see what the weather was like. It was raining a lot this morning, but it's not too bad now. But it was freezing cold, and the rain was ice cold. So as we come across here, this is pretty much the main centre. We're walking up now towards across. Over there is the Galleria shopping centre. And over there, that's a DNB, a massive bank, and there's a nice place next to it that's called Hoya. It's got quite a lot of designer goods and designer clothes, and it's pretty much the only designer shop in Bergen, if I'm honest. So as we walk up here, this is the main street that goes right through the centre of Bergen. So it's a one-way system that goes all the way through. The buses can come the other way, obviously, but it's a one-way system, so you have to go through this way. As you can tell, it's quite windy, and there's not much I could do with that. I tried to cover up the microphone a little bit, but it was so windy this morning, it was ridiculous. So for those that have been to Bergen before, you'll recognise as we're coming up here, as I scratch my head, we're coming up here on the left-hand side, you'll see the main square, Torgallmenn again. This is pretty much the focal point of Bergen. Over to the right is where the fish market would be, which you'll see in a second. This is the monument here on the left hand side. So this is Torgallmenn again. There's quite a lot of shops all around here. It is the main shopping area basically. Coming on to Strandgaten as well. You see all the green scooters, the ride scooters as well. They're quite convenient for getting around the city, but they're a pain in the backside. When there's loads of tourists, they're flying around everywhere. They just come from nowhere, so just be careful. Across there, that's the fish market right over there, and that leads you to Briggen and Mount Florian, and that's the way I've just come. But that's the main way over there to the fish market. We'll take a little walk down Strandgaten now. It's quite a nice shopping street. They've redone it all. There's a lot of clothing stores down here now, and a lot of outdoor stores, which obviously you need in Bergen. So it's quite a nice place. It's pedestrianised this last little bit, but the buses are allowed to come here, but the cars are not allowed to come down this last little bit. As you come up here now, you'll see it's quite deserted. It was quite eerie again this morning without the tourists. It's very desolate. I think the people of Bergen don't bother getting out of bed on a Saturday until later on. A lot of the shops as well are closed until sort of 10, 11 o'clock. But you'd also find the coffee shops, which is quite a strange thing. There's not many local coffee shops that open usually before 9, 10 o'clock on a Saturday. The shopping centres are a little bit earlier, but a lot of them are 10 o'clock on a Saturday. So if you think you want to go into Bergen City and grab a coffee somewhere, you'll end up with one of the big places like Espresso House, not one of the local smaller ones. I say they tend to open around 10, 11 o'clock. But this is Strandgaten, the main shopping street. As you come down here, it's quite a long street, 3 to 5 minute walk. And the Rona on the left hand side there, it's like a premium outdoor brand. It's very good stuff, very, very good stuff, very expensive. And as I say, it's very quiet. Normally there's cars coming down here, not massively, but there's more than one car coming down here. So it is quite quiet in October. It's not a bad time to come, to be honest. The weather can be hit and miss. It can snow sometimes in October. It's very rare, but it does sometimes. But the temperature does drop quite rapidly, so it's quite cold, and it does rain a heck of a lot. So you'll see I'm not sure if I turned around to look right here or not. But when you cross this road, this is like the main place. But if you look to the right, just down that road there is the fish market and also Briggen on the other side of the water. So we're on this side of the water, opposite Briggen. if you walk down there, you can see the whole of Bergen. It's quite a nice photo opportunity. You'll also see Florian in the top right as well, so it's quite nice. But as we're walking away from that, down towards Strandgaten, this is a really nice place down here. So Helly Hansen on the left. There's a few more premium brands, and then it is quite a nice place. But like I say, it doesn't have. It feels like it's COVID time because of the lack of people and the lack of energy around here, and obviously the dull grey skies doesn't give it its justice. But it is a beautiful street. It is quite nice down here, and so just over to the left there is one of the Scandic hotels. It's quite a popular hotel because it's right next to the windy road. When we get to the end of this, when we look to the left hand side, if we get to the end of the street here, you'll see there's a famous windy road. It's like San Francisco, only not as steep and not as long. If you come in from Xhibition, which is where a lot of the Italian boats come in, you'll end up coming over the hill and then down this winding road, which you'll see in a second. But this is really you're heading out to Nordnes, which is quite a beautiful place. So if you do get a chance and you're here for more than a few days, take this walk down here and just keep walking. The aquarium's right at the end of here as well. But if you see on the left hand side there, that's the windy road. So it's quite cool. If you go to the top of that and take some photographs. Obviously, I decided to put my hand in the way so you can't see anything, which is not my brightest idea, is it? I guess I'm scratching my head there. A little embarrassing. And then that's the Bergen on the other side of the water there, which you can see. So we cross over. This old building here on the left, the white one, it's actually a shop that sells barber and a lot of waterproof stuff. It's quite a cool shop, to be honest. And you can see there across the water is Bergen. We go over here, we're coming to the bottom of, this is basically the end of Strandgaten. So if you go to the right, the opposite way, that takes you straight down to the aquarium, but it's right at the far end. It's a good 10-minute, 15-minute walk. And as you can see now, the windy road a little bit better. It's quite a cool opportunity. If you go to the top of that and take a picture of the bottom, you can see all the Bergen on the other side of the water as well. It's quite a nice photo opportunity. And then as we go down here back to the end of Strandgaten, this is quite cool down here. There's a lot of different shops. And there's a couple of restaurants at the end of here that are quite nice and quite cool. So yeah, so just enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks.